welcome, Cameron.
Thank you, Matt.
Congratulations on your win in round one.
Thanks, man.
Highest rated player in Bushwick chess rating in the tournament.
Well, I seem to notice like 4 or 5 national masters who all had provisional ratings.
But they don't have Bushwick master rating.
What does NM even stand for?
Not much.
Not much.
Not much over the board. So we were commenting, obviously, on your game throughout, and you got a Benoni.
Got a Benoni.
How did you feel when you saw your opponent create that structure early on?
Well, I'm comfortable playing against the Benoni. It's a respectable opening.
He didn't trade E takes D. He kind of delayed that.
Right. Yeah, E takes D is pretty common, but I think the way he played was somewhat reasonable. Up until maybe knight e5 seemed maybe a little strange. And then after I take, he shouldn't take with a rook. I think that's just bad.
So let me ask you a question before we get to knight e5, which is your decision to take the d pawn back with the e pawn and open the e file. Is that something that you're typically playing instead of c takes d, or do you sort of switch between the two?
No, it's positionally wrong, and I missed that taking the other way hung a pawn. I missed this from far away.
Take us through the line.
But I still think if I had gone back, I would have still gone for it, even though it's positionally weird, just because I think he's just behind in development, like in any chess position, right? Maybe I'm wrong. But no, I'm aware that you should take with the c pawn.
What pawn were you hanging if you take with the c pawn?
The e pawn, because he had already played rook e8, no?
He played rook e8 after. But you might have been worried about the pressure that's coming because you put the bishop on e2.
Do you have the game?
We had some pictures from out. Well, we don't need to pressure you with the actual position, but more so your thoughts on it. So there was another odd moment where you're.
No, he played. So I wrote down my moves.
Okay.
He definitely played rook e8 before that. This is why I took with the e.
Castles, rook e8, h3, ed. Okay. So so that's why. Got it.
Yeah, because I would have hung the e pawn.
Okay.
Because I didn't play rook e1. He played rook e8.
And your bishop is on e2 instead of on d3. So you're missing one of the defenders in that position.
Yeah.
So that rook that he put on e8 eventually made its way all the way up to f5.
Yeah, he shouldn't play with rook takes e5. It's like a fish out of water, right?
Rook's
e5. Trying to pretend he's a knight.
Well, we were looking at this position because rook takes e5, and then you play a really nice developing move, bishop f4.
Yeah, I mean I could just play without thinking. He should take with the pawn. Yeah.
And if he goes rook e8, he's potentially going to be losing the d pawn because you'll have a double attack if you play knight b5.
I was looking at that, yeah, and then. Yeah, I don't even know if he can hold the d pawn. So he's already like somewhat dysfunctional, I think.
It's dysfunctional, but the thing is that we were commenting on is that even though he put his pieces on really weird squares, the knight made its way to h5. He had some attack.
Knight h5 is interesting. I evaluated it as objectively incorrect, but scary and critical. So I invested a lot of my clock time on it.
Yes.
I mean, I respected the attack. Even though I didn't think objectively it was sound, but I knew that there were important problems to solve. Like, maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but he's playing 4 pieces on 5 and defending the king side with 5 pieces. So it's like a power play, a little hockey reference.
Yes. So we brought this up. One of the ideas there is that maybe we didn't have a computer up, but it looks weird. Intuitively, it looks weird. He's put the rook on f5. He's put the knight on h5.
Feels a bit much.
And
g4 is in the air. Bishop g4 is in the air.
But there's also some interesting lines
h3
where
is loose.
G4 is a blunder. But
of course, and queen h4 is coming. I can see that.
The other thing that ends up happening is
I could get mated if I'm not careful.
You could get mated, or you're such a good player under time pressure, and you do a really good job of simplifying your positions. If you simplify that position, what you have is a very normal position and a good structure, and black has no development with the pieces with the bishop on c8 and the rook on a8.
He never got his bishop off c8. Yeah.
And that ended up being a tactical issue for him later on.
Yeah. In a practical sense, I really respected the way he played. I mean, especially in a rapid time control.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. I felt it was interesting enough that I should allow myself to have a time deficit because I felt like if I solved all the problems, I'd be winning. But I also, at the same time, respected the problems he was creating.
Mm.
So,
That sounds like a true love for chess.
yeah, man. I mean, it's hard to win a one game, right? It's like it's winning positionally. Like, I mean, I'm not a master, so
The old Lasker quote.
I have that voice in my head, like I think this is winning. But then I have the other voice in my head. It's like, how many times have you told yourself that?
Well, it worked out this time, and you
Yeah.
got your win in round one. You said that you were the first person to say this to me today. A lot of chess to come. This is a long day.
Dude, yeah, Micah announced it as a 3-hour tournament. You'd be lucky if you get out of here in 6. 15:10 is slow.
The increment
Yeah, the increment piles up.
piles up, and it was useful for you at the end of your game.
Yeah, so I had a match plan which I executed, which I'm proud. That's actually the thing I'm most proud of in this game is that I had a match plan and I followed through on it. And that was to invest a lot of time in the opening and early middle game to get a reasonable position. And then when he did a great job to make that tough, I still invested time, trusted my skills once I had a harmony and a better position.
Some good tactics there too. I mean, you were definitely sharp defending your position, and then
It got a little dicey with F2, yeah.
we were laughing. we were making some jokes when after you kind of cleaned up. You took the C8 bishop, you traded the A8 rook, and then you put your bishop back on
Oh, the interference,
on
yeah,
G5
yeah,
as an
bishop
interference
G4,
tactic.
yeah, yeah,
We
yeah,
said,
yeah.
is he going to see that his rook is hanging?
Oh, did you guys run an engine during the game?
No.
Oh,
We were just kind of
just because you're a boss and you're wondering.
we were wondering if he was going to see it, and
Yeah.
and he didn't see it, and that feels good when you're already up material and you can win another piece and just simplify. What we
Yeah.
saw from you, Cam, was 2 cams we saw during the game. We saw this cam locked in, not moving, not even blinking.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we
yeah.
saw this cam.
Yeah,
This
it was
is the
kind of a
relaxed
mix.
cam.
Yeah, it was kind of a mix. I was trying to stay relaxed, but also work. And yeah, I think I did. I'm gonna go up the street. I'm gonna get a snack.
Yes.
I'm gonna get maybe another coffee.
Yes.
Maybe.
You deserve it. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll try not to take too much of your energy, but if you keep winning, we're gonna need to keep talking to you. So
I don't know. I'm looking out in the field, and it's sharks in the water. So I'm just lucky to get a win in the first round. So.
okay. Thank you so much
All
for
right,
stopping
thanks
by.
for your time.
This is
Appreciate
fun.
it. Yeah, this is so cool. My first time doing a chess.
First, okay. Well, hopefully there'll be a second.
All right, cool.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. So that was round 1. You heard from our #1 rated player, highest rated player in BCC rating. However, you heard from Cam. There's some strong competition out there. So if you thought this was a great round, I think you're in for a treat with round 2 coming up next. We're going to take probably about a 5-minute break, maybe 10 minutes, make sure everything gets set up. So Tucker is going to take us to a break, and we'll be back soon. Thank you so much for watching, and we're thrilled to kick off round 2 when we come back.